Dante Alighieri was a poet from Florence, Italy, who lived over 700 years ago. He found himself in a difficult period of his life, exiled from his beloved city and searching for meaning. It was during this time of great personal struggle that he began to write his masterpiece, The Divine Comedy. This was not just a story, it was a deep look into the human soul's journey. He imagined a path leading from the darkest feelings of sadness through a place of cleaning and finally into the presence of God himself. His goal was to create a map, a guide for people, showing a way out of sin and confusion toward ultimate truth and happiness. The epic poem is divided into three distinct parts: Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. The journey begins in a dark wood, a symbol of a life lost in error. Here, Dante is guided first by the Roman poet Virgil through the terrifying circles of hell, where he sees the results of sin. He then climbs the mountain of purgatory, a place of hope where souls are made pure and ready for heaven. The final and perhaps most amazing part of his journey is the climb through paradise. This final book shows the ultimate destination for the faithful soul, a place not of earthly pleasures, but of spiritual fulfillment and understanding. Dante's reason for this huge project was deeply personal, and yet spoke to everyone. He wanted to understand the true nature of God's fairness, human free will, and the power of love to make things right. The entire poem shows his love for a woman named Beatrice, who had passed away years earlier. In his work, she becomes more than a memory. She turns into a symbol of God's grace and wisdom. It is she who guides him through the heavens, her presence lighting the way and helping him to understand mysteries far beyond what a human could grasp. It is a journey born from loss, but one that ultimately leads to deep understanding. The way the Divine Comedy is put together is itself a wonder of order and symbols, showing a medieval way of thinking where everything in the universe had its proper place. Each of the three realms is carefully organized, filled with characters from history, myths, and Dante's own time. Through his meetings with these souls, Dante explores complex ideas about politics, philosophy, and religion. He wrote the poem in the Italian language spoken by common people rather than Latin. This was a revolutionary choice, making his grand vision available to many more people and helping to shape the Italian language itself for centuries to come. In Dante's vision, paradise is not a place of clouds and winged angels playing harps. It is something far more magnificent and abstract. It is a purely spiritual place, a heaven of light, love and thought. Here the souls of the blessed live in perfect harmony with God's will. Their happiness is not based on earthly rewards, but on their ability to receive and show God's light. The more a soul is able to understand and love God, the more bright and joyful it becomes. Paradise is, in short, the experience of being fully connected with the source of all creation, a state of being rather than a physical place. The structure of this heavenly kingdom is based on the old Ptolemaic model of the universe, with the Earth at its center. Around the Earth are 9 circles, each connected with a planet or star. These are the Moon, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, the fixed stars, and the primum mobile, the circle that makes all others move. Each circle represents a different level of blessedness. The souls Dante meets are placed in a circle that matches the specific good qualities they showed on earth. This heavenly order is not a judgment, but a reflection of each soul's unique ability to experience God's love. When Dante, guided by the bright Beatrice, first enters paradise, he is at first confused. The physical world he knows has been left far behind, replaced by an environment of pure light and sound. He finds it hard to understand how spirits can exist without bodies, or how they can all be happy with their different places in heaven. A soul in the lowest circle explains a very important idea to him. Every soul is perfectly happy because its desires are completely in line with God's plan. They do not envy those in higher circles, because to do so would be to wish for something other than what God has wanted, which is the very source of their joy. This idea of heavenly contentment is key to understanding Dante's paradise. Happiness is not a competition, but a state of perfect fulfillment within one's own God-given ability. The souls are like different containers, each filled to the top with God's grace. A smaller container filled completely is just as perfect as a larger one. This teaches Dante his first great lesson in the heavens. True joy comes from accepting one's own nature and place in God's plan, not from trying to get what is meant for another. It is a deep message about acceptance, humility, and the nature of true happiness. Dante's journey through the 9 spheres is a gradual climb, both physically and in his understanding. With each sphere he enters, the light becomes brighter, the music more beautiful, and his own understanding gets deeper. The journey begins in the sphere of the moon, home to souls who, through no fault of their own, were unable to keep their sacred promises on earth. Here he learns about how free will and God's plan are connected. He then moves to Mercury, where he meets souls who were good but driven by a desire for earthly fame. Beatrice explains that while their ambition was a flaw, their good deeds still earned them a place in heaven. As he continues upward, the lessons become more profound. In the sphere of Venus, he encounters souls who were known for their strong love, now changed into a pure divine affection. In the sphere of the Sun, he is surrounded by the brilliant lights of great religious thinkers and philosophers such as Thomas Aquinas and St. Bonaventure. They talk with him about complex ideas, helping him to see how faith and reason can work together in harmony. This sphere celebrates wisdom, showing that seeking knowledge is a holy path that can bring one closer to understanding God's magnificent design. The higher spheres test Dante's understanding even further. In the sphere of Mars, he meets the souls of holy warriors who fought for their faith, arranged in the shape of a bright cross. In Jupiter, the spirits of fair rulers spell out a message about God's justice by forming the shape of a royal eagle. Here, Dante struggles with the seemingly unfair question of why good people born outside of Christianity cannot be saved. A puzzle the eagle helps him to understand as a mystery of God's hidden will. Each sphere builds upon the last, making Dante's view wider and preparing him for the ultimate vision. The final planetary spheres push him to the limits of what a human can understand. Saturn is the home of thoughtful souls who spent their lives in quiet prayer and meditation. Their silence and complete devotion teach him the value of looking inward. Beyond this lies the sphere of the fixed stars, where he is tested on the good qualities of faith, hope and love by the apostles themselves. Finally, he reaches the Prima Mobile, the fastest moving sphere that gives motion to the entire universe. Here he sees the 9 groups of angels circling a single, intensely bright point of light, his first glimpse of God. After passing through the 9 celestial spheres, Dante's journey is still not finished. Beatrice leads him into the Empyrean, the true heaven which exists outside of time and space. Here there is no more moving forward, only pure being. He sees the souls of all the blessed arranged in the form of a huge, bright white rose, with God as the sun that lights it up. It is a breathtaking vision of cosmic unity and harmony, where every individual soul is a unique petal, adding to the beauty of the whole. At this point, Beatrice, his guide of divine wisdom, returns to her place in the rose, and St. Bernard of Clairvaux takes over to prepare Dante for his final vision. St. Bernard, a person known for his deep devotion to the Virgin Mary, prays for Dante, asking that the poet be given the grace to look directly at God. This is the most exciting part of the entire Divine Comedy. Dante turns his gaze toward the single point of intense light he had seen earlier. As he looks, his vision gets stronger, and he is able to see what is normally impossible for a human mind to grasp. He sees within that single point 3 distinct circles of different colors, representing the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, all existing as one. It is the ultimate mystery of the Christian faith, revealed to him in a flash of divine insight. Within this vision of the Trinity, Dante sees something even more amazing. In the second circle, the one representing the Son, he sees the image of a human face. This is the mystery of the Incarnation, the idea that God became human in the form of Jesus Christ. For Dante, this is the final unifying truth. It shows that the human and the divine are not separate, but are closely connected. His entire journey from the dark wood to this final blinding vision has been about understanding this connection. He sees that humanity has a place at the very heart of the divine, a revelation that fills him with an indescribable sense of peace and wonder. In the final moments of the poem, Dante struggles to find the words to describe what he has seen. His own mind and imagination fail him. But then, in a final flash of grace, his soul is aligned with the force that moves everything in the universe. He writes that his desire and his will were turned, like a wheel that moves smoothly by the love that moves the sun and the other stars. This is the ultimate lesson of Paradiso. Love is the fundamental organizing force of all creation. It is this divine love that controls the laws of physics, motivates the human heart, and ultimately unites every soul with God. It is a timeless and powerful conclusion that continues to inspire wonder today.